What's the name?
Emiliano?
No. The
talking
fight from last night.
Guido.
The two heavyweights.
Yeah, Vianello.
Vianello.
Excuse me. Vianello and what's his name?
Arslanbek Makhmudov.
Makhmudov.
Yep.
Yo. So listen.
Oh man,
y'all know me, man. I've been raving about Olympic. I've been raving about having amateur pedigree and an amateur experience for a long time. Both these guys have amateur experience, but Vianello, Guido. I'm gonna just call him Guido. Guido was an Olympian, and when he turned pro with top rank, I believe, and he was supposed to be, a guy at this point in his game, and he lost the fight early on, and then his career just kind of had been kind of dry. I really want to say stale, but just kind of dry, kind of like, okay, he fought, he won, okay, never really gave us anything to really say, wow, he's becoming that guy. But in the last year and a half, this dude is really starting to make me think yo, you might actually get yourself into a position where we just look at you yo, you grew late. You know what I mean? You just kind of grew in this thing a little later than everyone expected you to. But the fight he fought last night, from a standpoint of fundamentals and the standpoint of game plan, was fabulous. I seen in the first round that he came out knowing that the uppercut was there and threw it and landed it quite a few times throughout the fight. Bust Makhmudov's eye up, and I'm at the point where I'm saying, yo, this fight needs to be stopped. What are they doing? But y'all give me what you got, man. I'm high on Vianello right now. I'm high on Guido right now.
I'm gonna let you go. I got one thing.
No, go.
Very entertaining fight for a heavyweight.
Yeah, man.
I was like, this is the guys look like they're 154 or something. Very entertaining fight. Take it away, Zittel.
Well, to Ant's point that Antt always loves to make, he's showing how bad he wants this because he hasn't let two losses take his spirit away. He continues to work on his craft and get better. And if he's a late bloomer, it is because he's a late starter to boxing. I think he told me when he first went pro, I believe he was a tennis player. It might have been soccer. They love soccer in Italy, but I believe he was a tennis player. So he's an athlete.
It was tennis.
It was tennis, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and so he kind of still fights like an athlete as opposed to a well-groomed boxer, but he's accumulating that. He's learning on the job, and I got to give credit to Guido because again, like Antt says, he hasn't let a loss break him, and he's just been fighting, like we talked about with Kenny Sims and Charles Conwell last week, Sean. He's fighting with urgency. He's fighting to show the audience, show the promoters, I want this. I want to be in the mix of the heavyweight division. I'm giving it my all. There's definitely still things he could technically shore up. Haven't started late. He's still fighting on his athleticism a little bit. Kind of, Sean, is he still doing what guys do in the amateurs a little bit, where he's on his bounce, he's getting shots off, and he's not really catching what's coming back. He's kind of relying on his athleticism to get in and out.
And even from that standpoint, it seems to me like there's been some growth in the last year, even from that standpoint, where the bounce is a little bit better. Mm-hmm. He's a little more
agile.
He's more professional to that point, and precise. He's more precise with his movement. He's more precise with his in and out game, his offense. What I mean, mentally precise, knowing what he wants to do, not fighting with hesitancy, not fighting unsure of himself. And even the fight that he had with Ajagba, I thought he won the fight, and they talked so much about whoever wins this fight is going to keep going, and whoever loses is going to go in the background. And I knew he had this fight coming, and it didn't. And when I saw it coming, I was like, cool, okay, he's getting back in the ring, but it wasn't until I saw him on TV where I realized, Top Rank gave him another shot. Top Rank didn't just say, you lost that fight, you knew the deal. They gave him another shot, and he made the best of it. You know what I mean? So, y'all know me, man. I'm always rooting for the underdog. So that's kind of where my feelings are at this point. It's they counted him out, and he started to make his climb back, and then they say, hey, it's this or nothing, and it became nothing for him, and then they found another opportunity, and he made the best of it, capitalized on it.
Sean, could you then tell Guido? Come on, try and say it with me. Say Guido, molto bene, bellissimo, bellissimo, molto bene, molto bene. Come on, give it a shot.
I don't know what none of that means, and I don't want to disrespect nobody.
It means he did really good, and it was beautiful. Bellissimo, molto bene, very good. Like muy bien,
Shoot, I thought I heard something about a mushroom when I heard Multibello. I thought I heard something about a mushroom.
We're not talking about Super Mario, Sean. We're talking about Guido. You understand?
Well, listen, Guido did his thing. On to, I got to do this, man. It's unreal to see these referees not be responsible the way that they should be responsible. And then even the doctor last night, the fight went, I feel like 2 or 3 more rounds than it should have gone because of how close that eye was. Hey y'all, this is a true story. I'm watching the fight. I've never had my eye like that. So while I'm watching the fight, I went like this. I said, I don't think I can fight like this. When you can't see, this is a big deal.
Oh, scratch that. Stop. I seen you spar with a headband over your eyes. You can fight like that.
You ain't seen me spar with the headband. You see me do some stuff with my dad.
Okay, all right. Shout out to Kenny Porter. That's the Kenny Porter shit right there. Okay? I know. That's somebody that would do it. It's you.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it, Sean. I saw Toro Gotti knock out Wilson Rodriguez with one eye. He did it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, I'm just saying, what were they expecting? This is a different weight class. The dude wasn't throwing no punches, and at no point did he look like he might land that big punch. Respect to him and respect to his team, but I felt like the team should have stopped it when the team wasn't stepping in. I felt like the referee should have done his job. There was one point where he had gotten knocked back, and the referee was nowhere to be seen. He got knocked. I think he got knocked down. And the ref didn't even call the knockdown. It's like, what are we watching? What are we doing? How are you that close to this fight? You don't see a knockdown. And on top of that, you're nowhere in the picture to even be in position to create a way to stop this. You know what I mean? It was messy. And the main event was messy too, in some regards, Shout out to you guys got anything else? I'm interested in seeing what Guido does moving forward. So I think he's, we got Guido, and I know Dubois and Anthony Joshua are fighting soon. But those 3 guys, I think, in heavyweight division, like they've shown, like what Antt been saying for a long time, 1 loss don't mean nothing, 2 losses don't mean nothing. Keep going, keep trying to make it, and if you don't give up, you'll make it. I mean, Guido's a fine example of that.
Especially in the heavyweight division, ask Buster Douglas,
Yeah.
So, and I was just kidding about the one eye thing, It was just an excuse to keep doing the Brooklyn Italian.
He said just an excuse. The main event.
Hey, quick question. How y'all like this? Guido, December versus Jared Anderson. Oh, so I see word eyes. I see word eyes. I see business eyes. I tell with the business eyes.
Yeah, that's
Did you say business eyes?
Yeah, business eyes. He's like, I see money.
You got me conflicted here. Like, the American heavyweight versus the Italian heavyweight is my heart is in 2 places at once. May the best man win, No.
Okay. Sean, you seem like you don't like that as a comeback fight for Jared.
Simply because in some ways I feel like Guido has fought himself into a better position. But
then to be fed to Anderson?
Because you're still kind of feeding him, guys. You know what I mean? Like, especially with coming back. Like you really got to feed him somebody to kind of get his feet wet. The whole thing. See if he's still comfortable in the ring and all that. And I've seen that before. Guys are extremely comfortable sparring, but then when they get in the ring on fight night, it's like throw your punches. You were doing so much more in training, So it's a road for him, and I don't think that road starts with Guido. On top of that, I feel like Guido has fought himself into a better position. So
let Jared get a comeback fight or two, and then that could be his what do we really got now on this comeback trail? Let's test him with Guido and
let's keep it real. Maybe in 2 fights, he'll be in a position to take on Guido, and Guido will be in a position that be like that fight could be for a title eliminator or something along those lines, you know?
Yeah.